Seize the day. Winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. Do not wait for your ship to come in, swim out to it. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. If you can dream it, you can do it. Wherever you go, go with all your heart. If man has done his best, what else is there? Success is going from failure to fair without losing your enthusiasm. If first you don't succeed, try again. Genius is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. I think I can. There's no substitute for hard work. Willing is not enough. We must do. Live the life you imagine. Do or do not. There is no try. Action is the foundational key to all success. Discouragement and failure are the two of the surest stepping stones to success. The cure is not to dream less, but to dream more, to dream all the time. If you don't know where you're going, you will wind up somewhere else. Just do it. I heard those quotes growing up all the time. When I first heard some, I memorized them. Others I wrote down. But not one of them motivated me for more than a day or two. It was a much less inspirational quote that inspired me, from a much less famous person. It was a doctor at UCLA. He said, "Steve, you've got inoperable tumors all over your liver. Worst case scenario, you have 5 years to live.
And I can't control the cards I'm dealt, just how I play the hands."
If you need inspiring words, don't do it.
Today's talk is not about death. It's about life and how to live, specifically about childhood dreams and about how you can try to achieve them. Dreams will come to you. If you live properly, the dreams will come to you. And I was dreaming, always dreaming. It was an easy time to dream. When you turn on your television set and men are landing on the moon, anything is possible. And we should never lose that spirit.
Okay, bad news. I had cancer. I was dying. But I got more bad news. You are all dying too. And what are you dying to do? Don't skate forward any further in your life without answering that question. But I've basically just given you all the same diagnosis I was given. Your time is limited. And that's a real diagnosis, so what now? Okay, like most people when they're told they're dying, you're probably going through the 5 stages of grief. The first stage is denial. I'm not dying, I'm healthy. Stage 2 is anger. Urgh. Stage 3 is bargaining. Okay, we're all dying. Stage 4 is depression. Stage 5, the final stage, is acceptance. Okay, I'm not immortal. So what now? Well, let me tell you what I did when I was told I might only have 5 years to live. First of all, I got a lot of advice. A lot of friends wanted to help. A friend of my wife told me that maybe this news would give me a whole new perspective. Someone else told me that I should live every day like it was my last.
So what were my childhood dreams? Being in the National Football League. This is one of the childhood dreams I didn't achieve. All right? And it's very important to know that if you don't achieve your dreams, you can still get a lot by trying for it. There's an expression I love, experience is what you get when you don't get what you want. The most wonderful thing my parents did was they let me paint my bedroom. I said one day, I want to paint stuff on the walls. And they said, okay. So I had a rocket ship, and we lived in a ranch, so I wanted an elevator. I wasn't sure where it would go. But the great thing is that they let me do it. And they felt that letting me express my creativity was more important than the pristine nature of the walls. The brick walls that are in our way are there for a reason. They are not there to keep us out. They are there to give us a way to show how much we want it.
But what I kept coming back to when I had time by myself and no one was giving me advice was my dreams. The dreams I had put aside, the ones that I thought I had plenty of time to reach. But now that I realized I had a finite amount of time, I had to ask myself, what did I want to accomplish? I'm not a worst-case scenario guy, but if I really only had 5 years to live, what was it that I wanted to make sure happened? For me, as a comedian, it was a dream I had since I was 12 years old. It was to perform my comedy on The Late Show with David Letterman. So, let me be clear before I move on. I was a comedian already, okay? I was making a living at it. No day job, full-time comedian, making a good living in comedy clubs, colleges, corporate events around the world. That was a pretty big feat in itself. But 6 years into my comedy career, I kind of stopped chasing the Letterman dream. I was waiting for it to come to me. I was waiting for someday, not chasing it anymore. That's a very important lesson for all of us mortals here today. Someday isn't on the calendar. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's on there about 4 times a month. No someday. But when it comes to our dreams, it's probably the busiest day of the week is someday, right? So learning that lesson, I just decided that I was going to refocus my attention back on that dream. I was going to pull out all the stops, and I gave myself a goal of getting on Letterman within 1 year. I was going to make someday happen. I started yelling my dream to anyone who would listen. Started calling in every favor I was owed. I found out everyone who worked on the show and begged them to help me get an audition. I even started asking people at comedy clubs after they'd seen me to email the show and beg Dave to book me. And guess what? I didn't make it. My ironically named deadline came and went. But I was so renewed about my dream and my newfound passion for it, I decided to give myself an extension. 1 more year to get on Letterman. Didn't happen. And then another. Nope. Sounds like bad news, right? Well, it was. I would have loved to get on the show in that first year, but something great happened over those years. Those 3 years weren't spent dying. They were spent living. Living a dream. And let me tell you, there is something, if you've ever chased a dream, you know that it lights a fire in your heart. That whether you reach it or not, it warms everyone around you and everything around you. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to keep going. Because that dream is so important. You can't wait for someday to happen. You need to make things go out. Wouldn't the world be a better place if we're all inspired? If the world wasn't full of uninspired people? I know I felt better when I was inspired. But why do people stop chasing their dreams? I don't think people choose to be uninspired. Why do you think people stop chasing their dreams? Everyone wants to achieve them. Why do people leave them behind? That was a tough question to answer. I wanted to give her an honest answer, not some cliche response or a motivational line. So I thought about it for a long time. I knew that cancer had motivated me to pick my dream up again, but why did I stop chasing it in the first place? Why does anyone stop? Well, when the answer came to me, it was hard to swallow, let alone spit out and say aloud, but I told her. We're all taught that life is tough. Life's a bitch. Life is hard. But it's not. It's pretty easy, right? It's pretty easy to skate by and go through life, right? We wake up every day, most of us in the world, with a roof over our heads, a big comfy bed under our butts, a fridge full of food. Most of us in the world, especially here in America, never have to worry about starvation or homelessness. We have friends and family that'll help us out when those things come. Those are the things that made life dangerous 100 years ago. Now we complain if life isn't convenient. This isn't a statement on modern society. This is a statement about motivation. Life is easy. It's easy to skate by. It's pretty easy to grow up, put your dreams aside, leave your passions behind, take a job that you don't even really mind, raise some kids who will most likely be inspired to do the exact same thing, go from point A to point B to point C until you end up at point Z, where you pass away and there's a line of people waiting to get up and tell everyone else who knew you what a good life you had. Nothing bad about that, nothing wrong with that, but nothing great about it, nothing inspiring about that. It's easy to look at a dream as something way off in the distance, something that might or might not be accomplished, a thing, an object, a goal, a thought that runs through our mind every now and then, a noun. But dream is also a verb. It has to be lived, it has to be done, it has to be furthered, it has to be acted upon, it needs to be chased. It's not just an idea or a result. To dream encompasses every step that it takes to get there. So I'm going to give you all a challenge here. Figure out the answer to that question. What are you dying to do? Don't skate forward any further in your life without answering that question. But if you don't know the answer, don't go to sleep tonight without answering that question. Don't wait till Sunday to answer that question. There's nothing more important in your life than figuring that out. When you do figure it out, then when you go to sleep, you'll sleep like a kid again. Because then you'll be going to sleep not to dream, but with a dream. And waking up with one. Thank you. I told you about my dream. I didn't reach my Letterman dream by my deadline. Or my extended deadline. Nope. It took me 5 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Steve Mazan.
5 years of living. Five of the years of living for that dream. And I was very lucky. My tumors during that time, they didn't grow. I stayed healthy. But I had that wake-up call, and I'm giving you all the same wake-up call. We're all dying. But if you're not chasing your dream, you're already dead.
I don't think complaining and whining really solves the problem. This is Jackie Robinson, first black major leaguer, had it in his contract not to complain if people spit on him. Now, I don't care if you're Jackie Robinson or if you're a guy like me who's only got a couple of months to live. You can choose to take your finite time and energy and effort, and you can spend it complaining, or you can spend it playing the game hard, which is probably going to be more helpful to you in the long run. The talk isn't just about how to achieve your childhood dreams. It's much broader than that. It's about how to live your life. Because if you lead your life the right way, the karma will take care of itself. That we all have people that we don't like, that have done things we don't like, and what I have found is no one is pure evil. If you wait long enough, they will show you their good side. You can't make them do it in a hurry, but you can be patient.
He said, when life can no longer threaten you with death, so what else is there? What else is there? And the majority of the fears that we have are not life or death fears. They're not those kind of fears. If you want to begin to move, you've got to clear your mind of all the unnecessary luggage and baggage that's weighing us down. I couldn't move. I couldn't think about what am I going to do to get out of this situation, because I was so concerned about what happened and what he did to me and how bad it was. I was so stuck in that I couldn't even focus on what I should have done. See, what's the worst thing that they can do to you? Kill you. And he just decided, hey, this is what I came here to do. I know that there's some risk involved, and I'm going to do it, come what may. He said, I'm not going to be afraid anymore. Feeling sorry for myself and angry, and none of that was taking me anywhere. So pretty soon I learned through effort, made a conscious, deliberate, determined effort. I had to let it go. I had to forgive it. Let it go and begin to focus on developing myself. And I say to you, you're going to have people to do things to you. Things are going to happen to you. And the most important thing to do is to harness your will and let it go and move so you can grow, so you can get on with your life. It doesn't matter about what happens to you. What matters is, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do now, Les?
This is the instinct that says, you've had enough. This is the instinct that says, you've given it your best shot. You can stand down. You can back off. You can take a knee. This is the instinct that says, you can rest now. Do not listen to that instinct. Do not listen. That instinct is a liar and wants to bring you down. That's the instinct that's a defense mechanism. It wants to give you an out, a place to run to.
A lot of people never get to where they want to be because they'll never stop complaining about where they're at. I'm going to say it again. A lot of people will never get to where they want to be because they will never stop complaining about where they're at. The word complain means to remain or to stay overnight. So if you want to stay right where you're at, just keep complaining about it, and I can pretty much guarantee you that you'll still be there.
And they'll tell you, you did the best you could. No, they'll say the deck was stacked against you. And they'll say it's not your fault. And they'll tell you it's okay to stop. It's okay to settle. It's okay to give up. And that is the instinct you need to fight. You need to push back, to smash into the ground. Do not take the easy way out. Do not give up based on instinct. If you are forced to stand down, to retreat, so that you can rebuild and reattack, so be it. But make that decision based on logic, not on the instinct of surrender and defeat. Get up. Go. Fight on.